Step function. What do you have to make sure that you put in for numbers when you're dealing with a step function? Decimals or fractions, right? Because with greatest integer, you are finding the greatest integer not bigger than the number that you're using. And then I would do consecutive things. I wouldn't be hodgepodging, jumping around. So we need an x and a y, and when I showed you this before, I put in a column that had greatest integer, then your y. So I'm going to start at 0. So what's the greatest integer of 0? 0. And then I'm going to have to take that and subtract 6. So then I'll put in a 0.2. So what's the greatest integer of 0.2? 0. Then I'm going to take 0 minus 6. Okay? Let's jump it up to 0.4. Still going to be a 0. Still going to be a negative 6. Let's 5. What about 0.8? What about 0.9? About 1. Uh-oh, looks like I got a step, don't I? Somehow it stepped up because this y value changed. So I got a step between 0.9 and 1. 1.2. Negative 5. 1.5. 1. 1.9. 2. 2.5. 2.9. Okay? Why did I start putting more room in between here? Because on the first step, I had to make sure that there wasn't a jump that happened with any of these smaller decimals. If there was, let's say this multiplier here would have been 2x instead of just x, there would have happened to have been a jump here at the 0.5. So on this first step, I need to have a lot of decimals, and then I can start spreading them out afterwards. So you're good with that. So what's that going to look like on a piece of paper? On a piece of graph paper. So here's x, here's y, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, etc. Here's 5, which means that I'm using every other block. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5. This is on the y. Okay, the first point that I had that I tried to erase here was 0, negative 6, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would have been right here. Correct? Point 2 is at, point 5 was at 0.8, 0.9. But at 1, an x value of 1, what happened? it jumped up here to -5, didn't it? Right? So over here at 0, I had a dot. Over here at 1, it jumps up. So I need an open circle at here on this bottom one, and then it jumped up. What about happened at 1.2? -5. At 1.5, it was a -5. 1.8, it was a -5. 1.9, it was -5. But at 2, it jumped up to -4. So I need an open circle there, and it jumps up.
Do you put your open circle at 2?
Yes. So actually I have two things at 2, because that's where it stepped up, or stepped down. I need an open circle on the one I just completed and a dot on the one I'm just starting, because that's where it's equal to. So at 2.5, it was still here. It probably continue that over to 3, and then it will jump up, because that's the pattern, isn't it? So I'd have this one, this one, this one, and now my pattern will be the same thing all the way across. Okay?
So they're all domain and range of the all real numbers?
Yes, it will be in this case. Because I just started here at 0, I could continue with negative numbers for the x's. And my range, which is y values, would start all the way down here at infinity, and it will, if I keep drawing this out, go on forever. Domain is all real numbers. Range is all real numbers.